I think a lot of people watching answer this. Please speak to people on this that are listening. Well, you know what? If I had the money, I can make that leap too. But guys, it's not the money that takes the leap. It's something much bigger.
Yeah.
So go to that just so we don't have excuses,
Yeah.
right? Well, if I was in danger, like no, guys, it's not about being in his shoes. He made a decision which everybody is going to have to make in their life as well. So
Yes.
explain to me that, or speak to someone who's like, because that voice, that old paradigm, that secret identity wants to give us excuses why we can't do what you do, why we can't get our body in shape, why we can't do,
Yeah.
so it's the bullshit. So
It's
if
the
you can
story they
just speak
tell.
to that bullshit, yeah, speak to that story.
Yeah, so there's two pieces to that because that's such a good question, man. So the headhunting firm was peaking, right? Like we were doing 100 grand a month, 75 grand a month, 50 grand a month, but always kind of 50 to 100 a month. And so this time last year, I started kind of getting bored with it, and I wasn't challenged. It was kind of on autopilot. It didn't require a lot of my attention. They were just kind of going. So I just knew, hey, I want to start working on something. I thought it was going to be the gym, so I started kind of breaking off, but I didn't kind of sculpt what it was. I didn't never thought I'd be an online kind of coach or influencer like that. Those words didn't even come into my matrix, right? It was kind of like I want to help people get fit, and so I knew like training. But as it should happen, like when you make a decision, financially secure or unsecure, the universe somehow starts to deliver the right people, the right resources. And I noticed that. And so now fast forward, January comes around and headhunting is like dead. There's layoffs across the planet. We went from like 10 searches a month to like 3 at the beginning of January 23. And then by the end of January 23, all searches were kind of dead. But it was at the same time that this was going this way and I was ramping this one up that it was like, oh shit, we're going to be in financial trouble here if things don't take off, right? Like, I'm not as secure as I thought I was. And it's like, well, you made this decision. How do you get through it? And it was like, you had to go back to like, well, do I live in this place of fear? Because now I'm selling coaching for like fraction of what I was getting from the headhunting firm. But it was like, well, you made this decision and you're going to stick to it because it's your passion. My wife turned to me and said, well, why did you do it? And I was like, because I love to, it lights me up. Like, it's not work for me. And she's like, well, then the money will take care of itself. And I was like, God, you made that sound so easy, And I want to say like, well, you don't see the bills and you don't know, like, we're carrying this much because I had the money. Now it's like, I got to figure out how to get, now I had to start creating a product and then start building value and all of that. But it was like, I just put it to the side and said, go after it. Like with everything you got, go after it and trust that the money will come. And hiring coaches throughout the process. Like I didn't know social media. I didn't even have an Instagram account last June. So it was like, well, I'm going to find some money and I'm going to hire a coach to teach me about how to build a brand online. And then I didn't have enough money and I was like, well, I got to pull it from savings, but we're going to find a way to hire this guy. And God, if we don't get our money back, we're going to be really fucking fucked. But it was like, the other option was sit there and let it just keep depleting and knowing that I was going to not be investing in myself, which meant I was going to be powerless one day, right? When recruiting completely flatlined, which it has, most recruiters or headhunters are just dead. And if I hadn't made that decision to start investing in myself, big chunks of money to get the skills I needed for this business, I'd probably be a drunk. I'd be smoking weed all day. We would have lost our house. We would have done all those things because I didn't bet on myself. I relied on, well, maybe the universe is going to turn and companies are going to keep hiring one day and telling that story because I was a recruiter and I would, like you said, like I would have been at the crux of that pit again. And I knew there's something better for me. I got the signals and I followed it. I kept leaning into the discomfort. And that meant like, I got to turn the camera on. I got to make a video of myself. Like I've never done this since I had the phone. I wasn't taking selfies for my family. So all of it came at the point of like, if I don't make this decision, what's the cost? Like, because it's going to be a lot more than the money that I have to spend to get this coach, to collapse time, to get this information, to earn this skill. And so I always did that. I put it on credit cards, whatever. If I had to, I overextended myself to get the best coach. Like, I think you have Wes Watson too, right? Do you coach with Wes?
No, but he's one of the realest guys out there. I don't give a shit what anybody says.
Really?
Like it's for sure.
Yeah.
Like
I
it's
didn't
for
hire him in
sure.
the first place because I
No,
was
no.
like,
This for
This
sure.
guy's like
No,
7,500 or 20K. I'm like,
no.
now I'll figure it out.
It's worth it.
And then 4 months later, I was like, I got no other option. Like, because I'm
Yeah.
so annoyed with this. And so I made the investment, but I've always overextended myself to get the best because I was like, they've got the blueprint. If I believe in myself, why would I not take that money, whether it's 7,500 or 10K or 20K, put it on myself and know if I get that information, I'm going to be dangerous. I'm going to get to the next level. So you just have to you have to have confidence in yourself. I think the people that don't and use the money excuse, they've told themselves so many things that they've never followed through on. So they don't believe their own word. And so they
So right.
doubt their ability to be able to execute and take that money and get an ROI on it. And then they want their validation from their wife. Like, let me see what my wife's going to say. Bro, you haven't lived up to your word in 5, 10, 15 years with your wife. You think telling her you're going to take 5, 10, 2,000, 10,000, she's going to say, no. You're not doing that with our money because you haven't fucking hit a mark since I married you. So, it's like, guys have to get in this place. I think, like, fitness and health for me were pieces of the puzzle, but it was a mindset game. It was always a mindset game. How do I get my mind stronger to control the controllable? And then get the right people in my life that I can learn from to keep adopting their beliefs and advancing my life.